welcome to the Poliwhirl Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. This is the last in the Poliwhirl line that we need to do a solo run with for the Gen 1 Pokédex. So let's get cracking on with it. And you know what? As you probably saw on the thumbnail, this Pokemon line is probably the most consistently good as a solo runner in Gen 1. It's got a base stat total of 385, pure water type, so it doesn't have that pesky psychic weakness this time. So yeah, let's crack on with the run. Our rival for today is going to be Felicia Vale. Thank you for subscribing, welcome to the channel. Let's crack on. Reason why this line is very good, well, pretty much water types they always do pretty good in Gen 1, especially in solo runs. And that's amplified by the fact that if you start off with water type moves, the very first gym is incredibly easy. But what makes Poliwhirl and Poliwag and Poliwrath even better, they start off with the move Hypnosis. Yes, it's only 60% accurate, but a sleep-inducing move to start off with, I'll take that any day. Even though Water Gun is not very effective against Bulbasaur, we can take it down pretty comfortably. And let's have another look at those base stat totals now we've beaten the rival for the first time. Our best base stat is our speed at 90, which is pretty damn good. Like, that means we'll outspeed quite a lot of things throughout the entire run. Most of our stats are really put into HP, attack and defense though, and we've only got 50 base special. Now, considering water is a special type move in the first few generations, that doesn't really work for a Poliwhirl. You're probably thinking, right, we're going to have to be going with the likes of Earthquake, Submission maybe, just to make this a lot easier on ourselves. But it's honestly, even with that 50 base special, it's still worth just going pure special for a Poliwhirl. We don't get another move until level 26 when we can learn Double Slap, which is pointless, but at level 33 we can learn Body Slam. But we're going to get it well before then. Let's see how we do against Brock at minimum battles. So as long as you've got a water type move or a grass type move, pretty much Brock is easily done at like minimum battles. And by the time we finish him with a couple of water guns, we've got the first badge and we can progress on to Cerulean City. But before Cerulean City, of course, we've got Mount Moon, and we are going to pick up a TM while we're here to try and utilise that higher base attack. If you know what move I'm talking about by now, if you've watched these videos a lot, the move we're going to pick up in Mount Moon is Mega Punch. Yes, it doesn't have the greatest accuracy, but it does have 80 base power, which will help us massively in the next gym coming up. So, if you've been here a while watching my videos, or you're first time watching my videos, you might be wondering, what is the... Well, this is more for the people who have never watched my videos before, first time watching. Hi guys. So, reason why you should probably subscribe to this channel, like videos and interact in the comments. I interact with every single comment, so if you send me a comment on a video, I'm going to reply whether it's good or bad. I'm just going to chat to you. I'm completely chill, so whatever you want to talk about in the chat, whether you want to criticise what I've been doing and suggest what you would have done differently, happy to chat about that. I'm not going to give you crap over it. I've released solo runs pretty much every week at the moment, and we're very close to finishing the entirety of the Kanto Pokédex as solo runs, and also the Johto Pokédex in Gen 2. So there's plenty to watch, and as we get towards December this year, I always do a full month worth of videos, and yeah, you'll see everything from solo runs to monotype runs where I try and beat the game with just one type, and also challenge runs depending on what people have suggested to me in the comments over the past year. I've got a big list of them, I am working on them, and that means December always sends off a year with some good videos really. Anyway, I've chatted quite a lot about that. We've beaten the rival in Cerulean City with very little to worry about. Mega Punch is a good move here, and it's going to be very good in the next Misty fight here. So Misty, of course, with Gen 1 AI, she's recognising that we are a water type, so she will not use her water type moves. This is why we needed Mega Punch, because it can deal big damage out and two-shot that Staryu. Once we've got the Starmie asleep, all it's going to do is use Tackle or use X Defense. So we can just use Mega Punch, whittle it down, and get quite an easy win. This is why this Pokemon line is actually very consistent, because their level up movesets and their TM movesets are all very similar. We can go pick up Dig from the rocket just outside of Cerulean after you've gone through the house, because he stole it and we need to give it back, but we're not going to give it back because we're just as bad as Team Rocket. That moves us on to the SSN, and we are going to pick up Body Slam finally. Now, if you've never watched a solo run of mine before, if you're doing a solo run or just a general run of Gen 1 Kanto, pick up Body Slam. It's just hands down the best move you can pick up on a playthrough. 100% accuracy, great power, and it's got the chance to paralyze. It can't paralyze normal types though, because there's a weird bug in Gen 1, but it can paralyze pretty much most things with quite high proficiency, as you can see there with the Ivysaur. And the rival on the SS and Felicia just can't really stand up to us too far. As you can see, we've actually got to this point in the run without a death. And on my Poliwhirl run, I managed to get all the way to the league before I found my first death. But that could all change with Surge. Let's see how we do against him and his Raichu. The Voltorb's not a problem whatsoever, 2 Body Slams takes it down. Pikachu's got terrible defenses, and 1 single Body Slam with a crit gets it down. Now, if we hadn't hit that Hypnosis on the Raichu, the run would probably have been over there and we'd have to try again. But we beat him first time after getting him asleep, and 3 Body Slams gets us the win, meaning we can now progress on to the 4th gym. But before the 4th gym, you've got to go through Rock Tunnel, and the biggest threat that I can say here is going to be the Slowpokes. They're just bulky, they can use Disable, meaning you can't use Body Slam anymore, and you have to rely on Water Gun. But I probably should have kept Mega Punched in that scenario, but I got rid of it for Body Slam. The Exploding Hiker, no problem whatsoever, with Bubble Beam on your moveset, he's an easy sweep. That brings us to Lavender Tower in the next rival fight against Felicia. Let's see how we do here. So, straight away, I was trying to set up Hypnosis and that didn't work. We got hit by a few sand attacks before we finally got that Pidgeotto to sleep. In hindsight, I should have just used 2 Body Slams. But the Gyarados is going to be a problem. You can see it does massive damage to us and tanks quite a lot. The Growlithe, no problem whatsoever. Kadabra, as long as we outspeed, we're fine. We paralyze the Ivysaur again, that's 2 fights in a row. And we get quite an easy win after that. It's just that Gyarados so far that seems to be the problem. And we're going to need to find a counter for it. But looking at our elite level up moveset and our TM moveset, there's not really too much to work with to take on a Gyarados. But we've got enough here to work against Erica. Let's see how we do. We have picked up the Ice Beam TM in the department store. And this all banked down to whether you could get her first Pokemon to sleep or not. The Vileplume is well weaker than the Victory Bell right at the start. It's an incredible lead to put on this team, because it has Sleep Powder and Razor Leaf, and that usually does tons of damage to most Pokemon. But with Hypnosis, this is why Hypnosis and then Sleep in general in Gen 1 is just so busted. If you get them to sleep, they have to waste a turn by waking up, and that means that you can get them back to sleep if you outspeed them, if you're lucky enough as well with the hit chance on Hypnosis. But with 90 base speed, yeah, we are going to outspeed most things in this run. We take down Giovanni pretty quickly and then flush out his rockets from the Lavender Tower. That means the game has pretty much opened up now. We've got the Poker Flute, we can go down to Fuchsia, we can go and complete Saffron and Silphcore. I opted to go for Silphcore first because technically it is the quicker route to go if you can complete Saffron and then go through to Fuchsia, then to Cinnabar. It's a quicker route than going all the way to Fuchsia and then all the way back. We are going to go and pick up Psychic, and we are also going to pick up Earthquake, but to get to Earthquake you need to go floor 10. And with Psychic, this guy becomes an absolute joke. Like, we're level 37 now already, and Earthquake's the final TM on the little circular there. Oh, I accidentally went into this guy here. Not a problem, his Magnemites, oh, they actually paralysed us. Good thing we got Body Slam. Body Slam is just a fail-safe for me. Anyway, let's see how we do against Felicia again. This is considered one of the hardest rival fights in the entire game. So let's see if that's true. We Ice Beam the Pidgeot, and that nearly one-shots it at this level. Gyarados is next, and we don't want to see Dragon Rage, so we're going to put it to sleep, Body Slam it down. Seems to be the most consistent way to do it. Now, you might notice I don't have any Water-type moves now. Yeah, I would say the best way to raise the Poliwhirl line is to not give it water moves whatsoever. No, don't give it any water stab. If you freeze a Pokemon, then like they're out of the game. They can't unfreeze unless hit by a fire move in this generation. Psychic's just so good in Gen 1, it's just always worth having the move Psychic. Body Slam, it takes advantage of the higher physical attack. And yeah, Hypnosis, it's going to be a failsafe on this team. You need to put things to sleep. It does mean we lose our water stab, but it gives us a much stronger move set for the rest of this run. You don't need water type moves to make this possible. Anyway, we've beaten the rival, and now let's just trash on Giovanni. Most of his team is going to be weak to Psychic, or they're going to be weak to Ice Beam. The only outlier there is Kangaskhan, who's not weak to anything but fighting type moves, but I'm not going to go and get a submission for this run. It's fighting in Gen 1 is just really, really bad as a type. The only circumstance I would say you need a fighting type move, it's going to be when you're a fighting type Pokemon, or you play it in VGC. Like, there it actually works to take out Chansey. While we're in Saffron, we might as well try and take on Sabrina while we're here. She's a tough gym leader, and we will not learn Amnesia because we don't allow stat boosting moves on this channel. So we're going with pure physical attacking moves. We're paralyzed, which is a bad thing, but we managed to get the Alakazam to sleep because it went for Reflect, and from there we can body slam it down, and it doesn't even wake up until the very end. And there we go. That's what I was talking about earlier with the why Sleep's so broken. They woke up, but they also had to waste a turn by waking up, meaning we could get a last hit and get the win. With Saffron completed, we head back to Celadon and progress down to Fuchsia City for the next gym leader. Koga, the poison type gym leader, not going to be a problem for a Pokemon with Psychic on their moveset. So once we beat down the trainers in his gym, we can give him a go. Now Koga, really not a problem whatsoever. You just Psychic your way through the entire fight, Hypnosis if you really need to get an extra hit in while they can't hit you, but Psychic pretty much is one-shot in most things. Even one-shots the final Wheeze in there, and we get the 6th badge. 5th in numerical order, but it's the 6th badge we've collected so far. That means we can progress down to Cinnabar Island, go through the Pokemon Mansion, and then use our witty skills to answer all the questions correctly throughout Blaine's gym. Now, on a few videos, because I'm mashing the A button so fast trying to get through this, because I'm trying to do these as quick as I can, I sometimes get the questions wrong and have to face a trainer, which, yeah, it's funny sometimes, but it's also annoying when you're actually playing it. Now, we're going into Blaine here without any water-type moves, which might be bad, but Body Slam is just a great move. Like, it's just tearing through his entire team. If we really need to, we could switch up to using Psychic and Hypnosis. Ice Beam doesn't really have a place in this fight, though. Once we get the Arcanine Sleep, because it did massive damage with Takedown there, we can just use Psychic, get its special defenses down. Well, it's special in general, because in Gen 1, special is both stats combined. And we can beat Blaine first time without even using water moves. That brings us to our final conquest, and that is Giovanni's gym in Viridian City. There's only 2 mandatory trainers you need to go against in this gym. This guy with the Rhyhorn, and then this guy with 3 fighting type Pokemon. Psychic and Ice Beam to sweep through this, and we can start thinking about the Giovanni fight. Now naturally, we have only got up to level 46 and we're going against the last gym. This is going against as many mandatory trainers as possible, and maybe only 1-2 optionals. But we're already at level 46, and this is still going to be a cakewalk. We Ice Beam the Rhyhorn, we Ice Beam the Dugtrio, and it actually doesn't one-shot. That's surprising. Ice Beam is not a one-shot on Nidoqueen either, and I'm going to switch it up for Nidoking because I want them final Ice Beams for the Rhydon. We've taken a little bit of damage, we miss our Ice Beam, and then it's going to take another to take it down. That's all 8 gym badges, and we can progress on to the Pokemon League. And again with the League, there is just one more challenge before we go, and that is Felicia again. This time with a more souped up team, we need to take this down fast, because Quick Attack will strangely do a lot of damage on his Pidgeot. It must have like perfect attack IVs or something like that, because it always does a ton of damage. The Gyarados needs to be put to sleep straight away, and then you body slam it into the ground. The Growlithe's out next, and we just go for Psychic. It's going to do big damage. Alakazam's out next, and this is the worry. You do not want to get hit by this Alakazam, because one Psybeam or Psychic will do tons of damage regardless of what your type is, unless you're a Psychic type yourself. The final Venusaur, as soon as you get it to sleep, it'll just go down to a few hits, because you can pretty much outspeed it. And then we can progress on to the Pokemon League. Now the first member we need to worry about, of course, is going to be Lorelei, who I genuinely think is the toughest Elite Four member of Kanto. like, she's got a team of water and ice types who are bulky. They've got good moves. They can set up. And when you, out of all the solo runs I've been doing over the past nearly 3 years, yeah, she's always been the biggest blocker. So let's see how we do. Poliwhirl is up against Dugong. As long as we can get it to sleep, they can't do anything. So once it is asleep, we can Psychic and hope for the special drops. If we can get the special drops, we'll do more damage. Cloyster is out next, and the best move it's going to go for is either Supersonic or it's going to go for Spike Cannon here because we're a water type. And I'm pretty sure her AI will say, oh, you're a water type, so why would I use water type moves? That means Slowbro is out next, and it's going to go for Amnesia, which is just to raise both its special and its special defense, because, again, as I said earlier, it is just one type. And pretty much we're just trying to hope to freeze it so it can do nothing. We don't get that chance. We managed to paralyze it, though, and take it down with Body Slams. We managed to nearly take down the Jinx with just one Body Slam, and that brings into the Lapras. And we might have a first time win here at level 50, but Lapras outspeeds and gets a Body Slam in. So there we go, all the way to the league into Lorelei before we got our very first loss of the entire run. And that was the same on the Poliwrath run as well, but that did have the fighting subtype, which could take super effective damage against Psychic. This time round, we level up with a few of our rare candies that we've collected. You can collect about 13 of them throughout the entire game if you really wanted to go and pick them up. And from there, we're just going to use 4 of them to get up to level 54. It gives us a bit more to work with. We go over the damage rounding cap as well, which is around about like every 1, 3, 5, and 8 levels, I think it is. It's a bit of a weird sequence. We finally get through to the Lapras with a lot of HP to work with, but our attack's been nerfed into the ground with all the growls that we've experienced. Body Slam is not doing too much, we just need to keep it asleep. And then a couple of Psychics at the end. Oh, we've run out of Psychic PP. Okay, Ice Beam. There we go. Let's see how we do against Bruno. What am I saying? It's Bruno, he's trash. He's going to get completely decimated by this Pokemon. Ice Beam for the Onyxes, Psychics for the fighting types. He is not a problem whatsoever. I've got nothing. He's got nothing that can do big damage to us. Oh, wow, I nearly spoke too soon there. Submission nearly one-shot us. Okay, that was scarier than I thought. Let's see how we do against Agatha. And Agatha, if you've watched other Solo Runner channels, especially J-Rose, he says that Agatha is a lottery. And J-Rose, I completely agree with that. She is an absolute lottery because she uses all of her moves randomly. She switches out Pokemon at random times. She's a nightmare if you don't outspeed and you can't you can't hit her for super effective damage. But we managed to beat her first time because this Poliwhirl is just a Chad, and we progress on to Lance the Flying type master. Yes, I make this joke a lot, but he has got a full team of flying types and not a full team of dragons. Yes, there's only one type of dragon in Kanto, but still, even in Johto, he doesn't use a full team of dragons. And we get completely trashed by him because Hypnosis decides doesn't want to hit, they use Dragon Rage, and Ice Beam doesn't one-shot. So let's try this again. We use our last rare candy, it goes to level 57. We managed to get the Gyarados straight to sleep, and from here we're just going to Body Slam it into the ground. We take it down, and we got quite a good amount of HP for the Dragonair, which one-shots now with Ice Beam. Ice Beam didn't one-shot the second Dragonair. We managed to get the Aerodactyl to sleep, so it went for Supersonic, which is an even worse move than Hypnosis with 55 base accuracy, and we freeze the final Dragonite to get the win. And that just leaves the champion. Let's see how we do against Felicia. Give her a big round of applause though, she's been a great rival this run. And yeah. Pidgeot goes straight to sleep, we Ice Beam it. Very fine first fight. Alakazam then goes for Recover, even though it's got full HP, and we managed to get it to sleep with Hypnosis. Psybeam then comes in after a full restore, and that moves into Rhydon. We've got into this with no healing moves, so I'm not even using Mimic here. And if we'd got Mimic, we could have mimicked Recover from the Alakazam to have some heal. This time round, we're just going to sweep through. Even the Arcanine, it goes straight to sleep after 2 Hypnosises. And we're going to go for the Psychics to lower its special. And as you can see there, we got 1 special drop, which means that it's going to do a lot more damage the next time round. We hit the Hypnosis first time on the Venusaur. And there we go. That is pretty much the fight. Poliwhirl has become the champion. And before level 60. And you know what? That's impressive considering Poliwrath was level 60 to beat the game. But it did have that Psychic subtype, which didn't really help it out. What time did we finish on though? That's the more important question. Let's see what we got. We finished at level 59 at 3 hours 3 minutes. That's better than Gengar. Like, that is genuinely better than my Gengar Solo Run. Poliwhirl, wow, that's an S tier Pokemon if I've ever seen one. If it got 4 minutes better, it would have been the SS tier and be the only middle stage evolution that has. But still, that's impressive. Now, at this point in the video, we always spin the wheel and see what we're going to get next time on the wheel. First up is going to be Machamp. We choose 3 choices and then I pick 1 to do the run with. Victory Bell is second. You know, I haven't done anything from the Bellsprout line for a while. Let's see what we get third. Victory Bell. Okay, well, it's come up twice, so I guess that means we're doing Victory Bell next week. What would be the final choice anyway? Pikachu. Well, the wheel's spoken, we're going with Victory Bell, and we will see you guys next week. If you got to this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. And I will see you next time for a Victory Bell run. Take care.